afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Westwall. Between these, we got Luvnest fighting for America, freedom, and democracy. Taking on the role of the Third Armoured Division, tasked with clearing out the position here held by ClassyDave, fighting for the Wehrmacht. Germany, Deutschland, the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division here with Osttruppen, with infantry, mortar bulletins versus Luvnest, heavy cavalry, recon support, airborne with triple infantry. We got an Osttruppen MT-42 build here right away for Dave. Osttruppen set out to meet these territories. The Pioneer Squad hits southwards. I imagine the MT-42 will then move towards here, since the Osttruppen heading where? This way. So a bit of an aggressive spread there with David. Then again, with Osttruppen you can do it, since you don't suffer the delay of having to build the infantry when they don't get the grenadiers. So that allows you to move your troops a lot more aggressive, and that tends to be sort of the primary advantage of going Osttruppen. You just don't have to build the infantry company. You just immediately begin pushing out there faster. We got Riflemen setting out here for Luvnest. They're going a bit behind here. ClassyDave and the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division, rebuilt from the remnants of the 352nd Infantry Division, which was shattered, more or less, or at least broken, while defending Omaha Beach and sort of beyond, actually. Fun fact. So Bartwire here we can see prepared defences for the southern fuel point. Very good foresight there by Dave. In the south, right, moving up here. In the centre, Earson's doing more or less the same here for the cutoff point for the house. MD-42 setting out further there. He doesn't just park it down, he sets out further. Third Osttruppen squad out here for Dave. Small move out here. We got squad sitting northwards, centrewards, and who knows where the next one will go. Third Rifle squad on the way there for Luvnest. We got more tank traps here to sort of further prepare defences. There's someone right next to the light cover here, so it's going to be harder for Dave to use and doesn't need to wire. Though, of course, he can still wire off, just to be extra particular about it. Awesome securing the point here. Up north, points being secured. In the south, we got the first shots fight. Pioneers and Riflemen duke it out a bit here by a rather badly beaten house. Is advancing. MD-42 remain behind the wreckage of an old tank blown apart. And there you go. Earson's cut up. Oh, not being quite cut to ribbons yet. They're turned under fire. Going straight for the cutoff point. No defenders here. In fact, both players sort of focusing more on the sides of the map to an extent, though ClassyDave with a bit of push here. Falls back from house more immediately. Does not hang about. Awesome going for the point here. Awesome here versus Riflemen up north, who need to fall behind some heavy cover. Also, Awesome here will take them apart pretty rapidly. In the south, got the victory point there. Of course, a lot of tank traps here. Dragon's Teeth, as known as, is one of the names. Shots fired there. Awesome could flank behind support. We got a bit of shooting here between Riflemen and Awesome. MD-42 joining as well here. Nothing further from Dave in terms of Awesome. Instead, we got Tech up there for Luvnest. Also Tech up. That'll likely be the lieutenant. Yes, indeed. So platoon command post going for the fuel point there. Dave will just avoiding any engagements. It's not going to really do him a lot. Therefore, something like fighting against Riflemen out of the house. No point. Rather better to hit the fuel point and try maybe outmaneuver the Riflemen up here, being held down by the Osttruppen side of the house, but quickly falls back to help support the ones by the fuel point in the south. A single Pioneer squad is actually doing a lot then, keeping the Riflemen away. The Luvnest is just not pushing ahead here. Perhaps where there might be something else lurking about. The MD-42 is being sent over here. Probably anticipating that the Osttruppen around this fuel point will draw most of Luvnest's attention, leaving the centre is pretty, open, but theoretically safe if Luvnest again just focuses on the threats around his more closest fuel point. So MD-42 being down there, Pioneers retreating, and Tech up down there for Dave and the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division. Got sandbags, trenches now available here for the Osttruppen to build. Also Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, you name it. Rather than being pushed back by the Osttruppen, heading for the fuel point again in the south, moving towards here, but quickly being halted by the MD-42, causing retreat there for Luvnest, and up north here, Ralph's got pushed back. Rearson's now being left to deal with three, well, more or less spattered squads of Osttruppen. Alright, we can do this, we can do this. What is this? This. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm from Hungary. Yeah. Just get on with it. And there goes, even digging trenches. Hello, some of the Osttruppen doctrine. Actually digging trenches, my god. Fun feature about the Westwall, but some of the bunkers were actually disguised as houses, so they sort of on the outside just looked like your average house, but in reality they were a fortified concrete bunker. more a fun fact about Germans and bunkers, but in particular the larger ones, they're actually designed not necessarily to be fought from, but actually all these German doctrine were moving away from that, but you know, they were just basically there to survive the artillery strikes. Then you'd move out to sort of prepared positions outside the bunkers to then fight from there. So, little fun fact there. Though they would still apparently have some machine gun crews inside the bunkers, but like the primary sort of infantry complement that would be supporting each bunker was meant to fight from, you know, outside of it. So we got Panzergrenadier on there for Dave. That is very good. Some players tend to over-focus on the Osttruppen for neglect that they tend not to, at a certain point, struggling. Of course, you got to bring up better infantry, at least until now when you get up to tier 4, and then of course get like machine gun speed, and then before that you need something to carry the weight there. In this regard, Panzer's very good. He's also got machine gun back to cover point. Very good work this well by Dave, leaving the machine gun here temporarily, I suppose, until you get the smaller nest here ready to go. Hitting the point with the echelons. Luvnest showing a lot more imposing. He's got a 50 cal up to cover his own cover point, but Dave, he's just got the Osttruppen guarding the fuel point. That's going to force Luvnest to have to commit some resources to clear out. So, no, it's actually a pretty good position, particularly because there's not a lot of really good cover around it. So, it's going to be a tricky thing there for Luvnest to deal with. And he can't use the house against it either. Clever Dave. Clever Dave. Got fighting here around the cemetery. We've got Panzer there being held down by the lieutenant, who is doing quite successfully. Though we've got Osttruppen running in. They do lack any sort of grenades to flash out the right from the lieutenant, so mostly can just tie them down there, force Luvnest to go elsewhere, maybe. In the south, we got Panzer 74-2 sneaking up with Dave sending a small team there. We could consider maybe going for an officer. That wouldn't be a bad choice. Smoke, the ability to boost infantry. Osttruppen for some reason abandoning. Oh, he's going to use the house. It's a bit risky this since he does abandon the trench, but it allows him to put some pressure on Luvnest up north. We got Telemines down here as well for Dave, sneaking out there, mining some of the minor roads to catch Luvnest off guard down the road. Luvnest got nothing further going on the base here. Then we got an ambulance out for him. No weapon racks or grenades. And there go 50 cal beginning to flank the Osttruppen here, forcing him further back. Still got machine gun bunker though carrying the cut-off point. Heading in southern munitions. And up here the Osttruppen slow leading with the Riflemen, though it's not going amazingly well there. And Luvnest here going for the anti-aircraft half-track. And Dave is just going to take up here, calling on support from the 21st Panzer Division, stationed nearby. Possibly. There you go, need to retreat the MD-42 though. Pioneers, looks like they're trying to support, but at this point it's already too late. Dave is being forced off the field. His Osttruppen was simply pushed off. There was nothing to support them. No half-tracks, no command bunkers, meaning at some point they have to retreat anyways. And this machine gun wasn't quite until any lynch points really hold up the line until then. So front line for now collapses here for Dave, as Luvnest sweeps forward like an olive green tide. But he's yet to grab the fuel point. So in this regard, Dave does have a, well, not really a big fuel advantage right now. It's actually Luvnest, was due to having most of the map, gets more fuel in than Dave. But at least he's denying Luvnest some fuel. Got the half-track out here though for Luvnest. Rather being pushed back by Osttruppen, who quickly hit some of the northern points. Panzer there moving in, engaging, catching Rifle Squad out in the open, pushing that way in the south. The Echelon successfully pushed back the Pioniere. I think Luvnest has yet to make an encounter though with the ClassyDave's machine gun bunker. We got a mortar on the way there for Luvnest. Possibly hope to deal with that, and of course any machine guns Dave might have been sneaking about with. Moving up the half-track here and the Rifleman in there. He's going to finally grab back his fuel point. America's fuel point. The fuel point of freedom. 50 cal hanging a bit back here. No doctrine yet for Luvnest. He could consider no heavy cavalry already now and go for mines with the Rifleman, making it hard here for Dave to sneak about. Recon support, of course, is always a classic, and there's also airborne company. I mean, they're all pretty good doctrines. Back here, we got weapon racks on the way for Luvnest. The AR's bazooka. He's actually got them in, plenty of munitions for that, so that's a pretty good choice here. Dave's Panzers, they're not finding the best position versus the lieutenant, who is rather beating them handily. Less good there for Dave, less good. Heading northwards, Osttruppen suppressed it with a half-track. Osttruppen in the centre trying to grab victory point, but they're getting out maneuver as well. They've got the infantry trying to set up here. David's yet to get support armor corps up, considering he's been rushing forward. Is not quite successful being pulled off. There again, officer Panzer's right now could be helpful. Well, I suppose he could feel himself compelled to go for the supply drop, get some extra resources in, plus a Pack 40 and an MG34. Well, that would be a bit expensive, but it would be faster in some ways. And he does go for it. We actually get a supply drop here from ClassyDave and the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division. Aircraft there taking fire from the anti-aircraft half-tech, but it does successfully escape. And there you go, grabs the 50 caliber. Oh, the 50 caliber Pack 40. Why would I call that 50 caliber? I don't know. Also, the MD-34 there can be seized, but he is yet to do that. So far, he just seems to ignore it. In fact, got the support macro up here, so basically just dropped this in to buy himself time as he gets the support macro up. In some ways, a bit more expensive, but at the same time, he pays or gains time in favour of that, because again, a Pack 40 would take him longer to build up. Plus, there is the extra munitions and fuel and the MD-34, which could be helpful in installing some of Luvnest infantry. In the south, though, Panzers there charging forward to deal with the re-echelons. Should be clear, though we do have a bit of effect here in the form of the anti-aircraft half-tank moving in. The Pack 40 is nearby and should be able to assist here. There we go, suppressing the Panzer Grenadier. MD-42, Pack 40 moving down here. Support McCall done here for Dave. We should then be able to summon support here from the 21st Panzer Division. We got Osttruppen dealing with Riflemen, Osttruppen moving westwards here. Going to try and move in towards. We've got Riflemen though with the BARs standing in the way, ready to intercept the Krauts. Looks like he falls back, perhaps sensing something is up. At the same time, Pack 40, MB42 moving a bit further ahead here. Osttruppen, Panzer IVs moving southwards, going to seize more territory. He can actually very soon go for a Panzer IV. Could also go for Stug on Ostwind here. Luvnest, in the meanwhile, aims for a 50 caliber more. Another Mardus to help keep those Krauts' heads down. Lots of impressive firepower from Luvnest with the half tank and the 250 caliber. Is going to have 3 sources of it compared to Dave's, who's got the machine gun bunker and the MD-42. But Dave will have an armor advantage with the Panzer IV, and that's only not to be scoffed at. Pack 4 of the Lancer got hit in the half tank, taking it down to less than half health. Panzer's moving towards his victory, but we've got the 50 caliber there roughly covering. Also mortar, though the 50 caliber is not set up to. You should be able to realise quickly move in there. Next, you can hit off the mortar in the south. MD-42 stops 2 full squads there of infantry from Luvnest as he tries to hit the southern fuel point. Dave is having none of that and successfully repulses Luvnest's advance. We got the half-to there coming from the road, stopping the Panzer, at least attempting to stop the Panzer Grenadier's advance, carrying out the retreat of the mortar. Panzer IV, though, almost done. And a bung grenade on the house just to collapse it so Luvnest can't use it to defend the calf point. Sneaky Dave. And there you go, Panzer IV rhyming there for ClassyDave for the German army. Back here base, we got a fella going on for Luvnest. You could actually go for a major now, the company command post. Back to battalion command post. And set up for Shermans. Panzer I to support here, a few infantry teams in the north trying to flush out Luvnest entrenched riflemen, but arrives a bit later as the Pioneers will have to retreat before the deed is done. And there you go, the riflemen ultimately pushed away here. The Panzer IV is just too much for them to deal with the BARs. In the south, you can see Luvnest tries again, takes a slightly deeper path. Almost. One lieutenant there gets caught a bit too close to the machine, but the other unit makes it past the machine and can able to hit the victory point, the fuel point, forcing Dave's entry and falls away from the front line traction. There you go. Half-tech moves against the MD-42. If he had set up here with incendiary granted time, that was quite lonely there. He could have actually done some damage. Oh, he does it anyways. He tries it. Panzerfaust. Need to get the Panzer IV down there. The MD-42 can't fire him. We got to follow up troops here. So while Dave certainly made the attempt, it ultimately just wasn't quite going to work out. Panzer IV meanwhile flanking behind Luvnest front line here, heading vital support units and destroying the mortar. Great work there by ClassyDave. Great work. Bit of a loss there for Luvnest as he suddenly finds himself without artillery. His only blessing here in this situation is that Dave doesn't have it either. But there's a big loss here for Dave as his Pack 40. Happy moved ahead, forgotten about or something, got rushed by the rifleman and stolen, denying it to Dave, oh dear, this is pretty bad. That actually now gives Luvnest the counter to the Panzer IV, which he didn't really have before. On the other hand, Luvnest is going for the captain, which is definitely a bit of a strange choice here. You'd think he'd go for the major. Instead, Luvnest has aimed for the company command post and the captain. And Dave has actually managed to take up, hitting tier 4. It's not grabbed the MG34 though, which I think would be helpful as the infantry is going for a second Panzer squad, but he is equipping his Osttruppen here with LMG-42s to sort of, I suppose, help go off against all the riflemen with all of the BARs. Look at this, we got a Maschinengewehr. Ja, we less rubbish now. Ja. 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 Up north there, Osttruppen, the light machine inside the trench, holding off against the half-track as he just unleashes 7 flavours of hell upon the trench. There goes second Panzer squad out there for Dave. Just got 2 of those, 3 Osttruppen light machine guns, an MG42 and the Panzer IV. We got Riflemen out there, but the Osttruppen light machine gun seems like Luvnest is not taking the Osttruppen seriously, even with the light machine gun, and that could prove to be, you know, a few losses there for his Riflemen if he's not careful. There you go. Dave goes down. That Dave, not Classy Dave, but you know, other people in America also named Dave, I think. Maybe. Captain here with 50 caliber there. Got the Panzer IV charging with the MG42. Pioneer supporting the south. We got Osttruppen here versus Riflemen. Successfully pushing back the 50 caliber there. But we got the Pack 40 opening up on the Panzer IV, forcing Dave to pull back his Panzer. Captain not upgraded with anything yet. Osttruppen continue to fight here versus the Riflemen in the south in the trench systems of the southern munitions point. MG42 carrying the car front, which seems a bit superfluous considering he has the machine gun, but at the same time allows the car a bit further beyond it. And at the same time, the machine gun can't be assaulted by Luvnest because the bunker is covering it. Panzer them in for the centre victory point in the south here. We got skirmishing here between Pioneers and the Panzer IV, and the fight continues in the south. The Osttruppen seem to be. It's a bit hard to say who's actually winning this. I mean, they're roughly both at half-health. I suspect the Osttruppen will long-term lose this because the Riflemen, I believe, have double BARs, whereas the Osttruppen only 1 LMG-42. I mean, there's a potential here that Dave gets lucky, but I don't think so. And there you go, retreats, getting the car point, and once more getting behind. You can actually see Luvnest went for a second mortar. So of course being able to destroy it was a pretty good haul there for Dave. And there you go, Panzer going straight for the half-track, nothing to support it, nothing to cover it, no mine to think either from Luvnest compared to it. Of course Dave has been mining though. I think that mine got spotted and dealt with. No, it hasn't. Can he get the half-track though? Can he get it? He can actually go for another Panzer IV now. He could in theory take up for a heavy Panzer Corps. I mean, he does have the tech for it. Pack 40 opening up there and gets the half-track. Amerikanische Halbkette zerstört. Ja, I saw that, Ludwig. Ja, but I have to report it to High Command. Panzer IV falling back. Panzer was now inside the trench. Not a lot more trenches though from Dave here. And sadly no officer either. Luvnest has yet to go for anything else though from the company command post. No pack howitzers, no anti-tank guns, no stewards, just the captain. He's also researched grenades now. Plus he's gone for heavy cavalry, so what is Luvnest's plan here? I mean, usually then go for at least 1 anti-tank guns as fast as possible to help you stall for the heavy crawling tank, but so far he's just got a lot of infantry and a single anti-tank gun which he stole from the Germans. We'll bring this other grenades off here. Bit of damage there up north. Panzer continue up in the trench. Riflemen there have tried grenades, but they didn't quite seem to have the impact they wanted on the Panzer Grenadiers, who successfully repulsed the assault inside their nice cozy trench. And there you go, heavy Panzer Corps for ClassyDave, 21st Panzer Division, willing to commit heavy armour support here for the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division, as they have been promised success by Oberstleutnant Dave. Grabbing the point here in the south, mortifying the MG42. Dave certainly not looking good in map control versus Luvnest. He is able to consistently deny some of the resource points here, which is of course pretty good. Up north, Panzer IVs, the lieutenant. South here we got Osttruppen holding up. They're probably anticipating some kind of sort. There goes by the riflemen who will attack here across. Well, not full negative cover. They have to attach to the Osttruppen light machine gun. Though, of course, we do have the grenade here. And that goes off. Oh. We've got another Osttruppen squad moving in to support here, but this is not a big chance of a wipe there, really. Up north, continued skirmishing here, but nothing big there. No breakthrough for either side. And ClassyDave here aims for the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen, worried about Luvnest armor. And the possibility perhaps of a Pershing, who knows? He goes for the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen. We've got the Panther to support the Panthers up north. We've got a grenade here, which definitely went the wrong place. Osttruppen being halted here by the 50 caliber more or less, at least they're halted by the possibility of the gangster run in front of it. And there you go, flanking with light machine gun rifle fire, quickly saying that. So the gun members here, Pack 40 hanging back, preventing the Panther from moving further ahead. Panther halfway done. Almost got the 50 cover there with the Osttruppen. 15 kills for the fatherland. Got Lieutenant. No, that's actually the captain here with the mortar there pushing back the Osttruppen there. Pioneers coming up here in the centre with a Pilfer bazooka by the looks of it. Wonder where that came from. I'm guessing Luvnest upgraded some bazookas. Might have been the rear echelons most likely, and they just down to one bazooka, so most likely he lost it. Panzer there pushing in against the captain. Sturmgewehrs versus BARs and M1 Garands. Up north, the Panzer there begins to suffer losses here, but they're still keeping Luvnest troops at bay. In fact, he now push for the fuel pump, pushing away the Pack 40, maybe even steal it. And there you go, Panther arrives for ClassyDave for Germany. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pinlight machine on the way, shoots and scores a kill there. Taking out poor Joey. Hitting the fuel point again with the Panzergrenadier. Bazooka fire there. Actually managed to penetrate the Panzer Force frontal armor, forcing it to slightly fall back there. With a Pinlight machine away there for the Panther. In the south, also moving in against the Riflemen, who are quickly falling behind some heavy cover there. 8 kills. Pack 40, no, briefly considered, but cancelled by Dave. No offers either still, or caches. And now we got veteran 3 Panzers. It's inside of trench versus veteran 2 lieutenant in light cover. That's definitely going to win here for the Panzergrenadiers. Veteran 3 Panzers is already pretty lethal, and with terrain advantage like this, they are going to win versus the lieutenant. This is honestly a bit of waste there by Luvnest against ClassyDave. In the south, we got the Panther for the Panther. Also, pushing back a push there for the victory point, and reclaiming it for the fatherland in a victorious counter-attack. Panzer there low on health, could probably do with retreating and healing up here back at his base. He's built by yet to grab that MG34. Need to push back those pioneers. We got Panzer there being, oh, not really harassed there by the Briasons on the retreat path. He's setting up for something with his tanks, but without any support, I'm not entirely sure how far it's going to be able to push through Luvnest lines. In particular, since Luvnest seems to have spotted parts of him moving in the Pack 40's machine guns to actually counter this. Lighter skirmishing there. I mean, overall, there's a lot of action across the map between both players. Like, they're not just focusing at any point and trying just to wear down the other one, but just bludgeoning them to death. They're constantly looking to slightly outmaneuver the other boss, and that way, gain an upper hand and, deliver some greater losses without suffering too much. So, I mean, this is, I would say so far a very interesting fight. We got mortar smoke here, stopping up the machine gun, but we got the Panther pushing through here. Puzzle into the Riflemen. A bit closer to we got like Gebalteladung. There we go, Veteran 2. 2 stars. But we got a return grenade there, taking out one unfortunate son. There you go, machine gun caught here in the south by the Panzer IV. We got Austin being pushed back though. Pioneers will help support. We also got the Pack 40 up north. We could support. We got the Panther keeping it, I think, a bit more fixed there. Continuing south with this Panzer 40 with the lieutenant there. By the southern munitions, we got the Osttruppen here with 17 kills, fighting off against larger numbers of Americans with more guns. Luvnest getting very close to the Pershing. I mean, despite just relying largely on infantry and a single anti-tank gun and maybe a few bazookas, actually holding off a large chunk of Dave's force, despite having several tanks and Panzer Grenadiers. It might also help that Dave is making stuff like use of the officer, the mortars may prime himself to support that way, but even then, it's, I think, to an extent highlights just how powerful riflemen, for that matter, the officers are. And there you go, Luvnest is able to call in a Pershing on the back of all of this. M26 Pershing arriving, of course. Oh, looks like he had a mine that actually laid down there by Luvnest. But he's still got an arm advantage in the centre. He's got the Panther, he's got the Panzer IV. They should be reasonably able to hold off against the Pershing. Of course, if Luvnest backs the Pershing with the Pack 40 and the bazookas, it might not quite look as straightforward there for ClassyDave, though could theoretically follow up with a second Panther. Still no one grabbing the MG34. Why isn't anyone taking submachine gun gewehr? I heard Göring farted on it. Oh my god. That's terrible. Yeah, that's why they sent it here. They thought we didn't know, but everybody in the German army knows. He farted on that machine gun gewehr. Up north though, we got their Panzer they've been pushed back with the Pershing. In the centre we've got an assault going on with machine guns, Osttruppen, grenades going off left and right, Panzer they're bypassing the infantry. Osttruppen's going to get wiped out. Team mate, actually no, the Riflemen are pinned down. Push hit, bang grenade, 50 caliber, almost dead. Getting a bit hectic here. We got the Pack 4 being to deal with the armour, shoots, misses. Panther versus Pershing there. Light damage being done on both tanks. In the south, you can see Luvnest streaming forth, taking advantage of Dave pushing most of his efforts there towards the centre north to strike through in the south. Very good decision, I think, there by Luvnest, though. He really should take up soon for a major and bring up some armor. At least bring up another anti-tank. I mean, he basically just went for the company command post for the sheer sake of the captain. And while the captain is kind of, I mean, he's good, it just still feels a bit, in a slight way, disturbing that he can just get away with just going for single tier for just an infantry squad, which basically, you know, once up, it performs at the same level as the lieutenant. Panther half health, but we got two pioneer squads here from Dave to repent. Very good, very good. Got the Osttruppen Norfolk's catching rock squad out there. 300 points left for Dave. Luvnest is in the lead. They're not by a massive amount though. Close to veteran 1 in the Panther. Panzer 4 very close to veteran 2. Back here, reinforcement healing. No one's still touching that MG34. You could consider Panzer or Sturmpanzer soon, of course, another Panther. Finally, we got another anti-tank and anything from the company command post there from Luvnest. Finally. It still overall feels like a weird choice, and he could probably just been better off with just taking fast from medium armor. Up north, grabbing the northern munitions with a few riflemen there. 18 kills, and there we go. Got the M1 anti-tank out here for Luvnest. And there you go, Panther 4 Panther striking at the riflemen. Quickly compelling retreat there from Luvnest, as does not wish to lose them. 50 caliber left in control there of the southern munitions. It seems Panthers are moving forward slowly. Got another squad here. We got the smoke down the centre victory point, allowing him to grab the point there without necessarily taking too much damage there from Luvnest defences. Very good work there by ClassyDave. And the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division. Mines briefly considered, but not quite finished there by Luvnest. Panzer almost getting wiped out. Panther moving in. Lieutenant moving here. We got Captain Rearson hanging back. We got a bit of skirmish here. We got a Sturmpanzer away for ClassyDave here versus Luvnest. Got a Geballte Ladung. Luvnest yet to take up further. And there you go. Lieutenants of Press. We got the anti-tank and firing armor piercing around here. Several shots. They're not quite seeming to hit anything. Most likely just missing. Pershing moving ahead here. And there you go, Pioneer spotted. Panther comes up in the Pershing up north. We've got the Panzer IVs, the Riflemen. 20 kills, T2 shirts and up. Sturmpanzer IVs. We've got another smoke screen down this time, I think, from, yes indeed, Luvnest to stop Dave's machine guns were firing at Luvnest troops. We even got smoke from the lieutenants of both sides here. Now all of a sudden, remembering the game has smoke and is utilising against each other. Very good work there. And Dave has ultimately lost an Osttruppen squad. Of course, he still has 2 Panzergrenadier squads, one of them which is veteran free and the other one is close to veteran free. Sturmpanzer sitting out here, also known as the Stupa. Panzer machine gun there being added to it. Flame for a drop. Continuing the hunt for allies. The Sturmpanzer sets out, mortar setting up as well to support. Panther, Pioneers all working here. They should prioritise the Pack 40 over the Sturmpanzer. Instead goes reverse and shoots. Several men blown to bits. Panther moves ahead as well. They got the Pack 40 opening up. Smoke screen though going down on the Pack 40, preventing it from using its target weak point. Great work there by Dave, and then proceeds to attack round through the smoke with the Sturmpanzer, forcing Luvnest to pull back his Pack 40 here as the Pershing fires covering fire. We don't think we're seeing any HVAC round stuff from the Pershing because of the nations. Sturmpanzer continues through here. Very nice attack here by Dave, making use of the smoke initially to paralyse the pack, to then advance through and continues the assault against Luvnest. Very good work here, and all of a sudden Luvnest finds himself in the defensive here versus Dave and the 352nd. Now it is Dave's time to attack though. He gets off a good shot there against the Sturmpanzer, almost taken down, but the second hand to tank this by encountering fire. Even as the first pack there got blasted, but there goes Sturmpanzer 4 shoots, bounces off. Panther there, falling back close to C2 here for ClassyDave, penetrating hit from the Panther 4 on the Pershing. But even as Luvnest is losing ground, the center, he's still making gains elsewhere, heading the southern victory point, heading the field point. Though the right now depleted, and we got a almost 23 Panzer squad here, which could quickly sweep them off the field. Maybe even get a wipe there if Luvnest was too slow in retreating. Oh dear, we got about 3 Panzer squad. They're going to go crossfire. We got the Panzer moving in. That's going to be a wipe. That's going to be a full infantry wipe here for Luvnest, who's finally going for major. Another line to tank money hit. Interesting enough, he never seemingly mined the center. He's just mined the sides, but there's not really much happening. He's got nothing that can take advantage of it. So there you go. Rifle versus the veteran Panzer plus the Panther 4 here. Doesn't get wiped like the first squad, but that was still pretty close. Pershing moving in. Shoots. Gets a good hit on the Panther 4. Almost veteran C2. Jump punch with the main gun knocked out. Lieutenant Graham the center victory point. Luvnest could go for Sherman. He could also, of course, consider a Jackson tank destroyer here versus the Panther 4 and the Panther, and even the Sturmpanzer. They should probably also consider getting that Pack 40 back in action here versus ClassyDave. Rifle under fire from the mortar, and we got a half trick on the way there for Dave. Could be for flamethrowers, could be just for the simple act of reinforcing his frontline troops, which I think would not be a bad idea at all there for ClassyDave. Plus could be used to transport his Panzergrenadiers. I mean, 2 vets and 3 Panzergrenadier squads appearing out as all of a sudden have a half trick at the right time in the right place. Could really do a lot of damage to Luvnest and some of the support weapons. And there he goes, got the Pack 40 back in action as well here. Luvnest still has a sizable force despite some of the losses that Dave's been able to inflict on him. There we go, 251 Mittler Schützenpanzerwagen. Moving ahead there for the fatherland. More smoke here around the centre. This time to Dave to cover up and advance to the centre victory point. Again, we can see a Luvnest trying to counter it when moving through. At least get someone on the victory point there to deny it to David. Of course, got the Sturmpanzer helping up. Lieutenant taking hits from the mortar though. Grenades, mortar fire. Sturmpanzer fire, almost taking out the entire lieutenant there. Getting only a single man to survive in his junior command squad. We got Panzer pushing for the centre victory point. We got mortar nearby, 50 covers rather hanging back there to cover some of the anti-tank guns. Sturmpanzer moving in, anti-tank guns being caught there as they move. There goes Sturmpanzer shoots, takes out half the unit. Panther moving in here. Panzer supporting, got the Pershing coming up here from the south further. They're taking out a lot of damage to the Panzer, but not killing any of the men. Vetty 2 on the Panther up north. Sturmpanzer in the head. They're going for the anti-tank gun. Already got 1 down. 8 kills there. Smoke stream down here from the captain. And there you go. Almost got the second Pack 40 anti-tank gun here with the Sturmpanzer Panther 4 combo. Almost, and there you go. Down it goes. 50 caliber next target, possibly. Riflemen maybe moving in. Panzer IV, they're hammering away. Pershing not moving up support because it's damaged. Captain suppressed. Grabbing the northern victory point again, he's losing the southern one again here to Luvnest. Pershing almost good to go. Panzer rolling back. Healing reinforcement. He's lost an Osttruppen squad. In this case, just replaces it with regular Grenadiers this time around. No additional Panzer Grenadiers, no officer or anything like, just regular Grenadiers. Not a bad idea at all, I think, at this stage, though. And there go Riflemen attacking into the Osttruppen side of the trench here. Head on assault. There you go, grenades to flush them out. And that's, I think, going to force retreat there for ClassyDave. Pershing in the center engagement, they seem to have suffered heavy damage again here versus Luvnest, and Panthers halfway to veteran C3. Half turning about, hits reinforce if necessary. Sturmpanzer being repaired. Halfway to veteran 2. In the south, we got the Panzer IV catching the 5th Cavalry here by the southern munitions point. Certainly sounds to look at grimmer here for Luvnest. There's yet to get anything out from his battalion command post. There's yet to be any Sherman tanks or Jackson tanks to help versus Dave, and that is certainly a bit interesting to note. Also a bit worrying that so far nothing has happened there, and again it just sort of brings up the question, I mean, why would he go for the company command post when he could actually just push out for armour faster and in larger numbers? But there you go. Panther closing in victory 3, and in the north we've got the Panzer Riflemen almost taking out the entire unit. 11 kills there. Luvnest finally going here for something, and they can in fact use the captain to supervisor to speed up the arrival of the tank destroyer. But Luvnest so far does not seem particularly inclined towards that. So a bit of quiet here across the front line. Davis actually hit full pop cap. He's got exactly 100. Luvnest is at 74. Panther moving in there, shoots and forces away the lieutenant. Panther almost done there. Dave could consider some S-mines for the southern victory point to make it harder for Luvnest just to sneak up with some basic infantry and grab it. Jackson almost there, almost there. There we go, Jackson out. And north we've got the Sturmpanzer, the Pershing. Not a very sort of equal engagement here. Panzer IV, Panther moving ahead here, going straight for the mortar that's left behind with the Pioneers. Panther with 14 minutes. We got Panther IV maybe setting up for flank here. Maybe try to catch something off guard here of Luvnest, but so far it seems to be starting them to actually catch the Jackson off in a bad position. Panther Sturmpanzer north looks like they try and take out the Pershing and an infantry supporting it, and there he goes, spots it. Shoots, good hit, gets a few kills on the rear. Some Sturmpanzer shoots as well. Does some light damage to the Pershing. Another hit there. Close to veteran 3, close to veteran 3 in the A status. Panzer IV moving in, we got artillery Panzer there firing off. Panzer IV taking damage, really wants that Pershing there. Shoots, gains veteran 3 on the Panther. It is ace level, it hits ace level for the Panzer IV even. Panzer IV that finishes off the Pershing, leaving now Luvnest with only a tank destroyer here. Panzer dealing with the lieutenant out in the open, shredding him in negative cover units of 5th Cavalry fighter supporting fire. There you go, Panzer IV versus Jackson. Panther shoots, gets a good hit. Panzer IV shoots as well, gets a good hit as well. Veteran 3 gained, armoured shooting up. Panther bounces off a shot from the Jackson as it goes after here, blitzes ahead, trying to probably avoid the infantry. Takes it, oh, miss from the Jackson, returns a hit though. Getting pretty close here. Luvnest falls to the suffered quite a few losses. Dave not so much, misses there. The Jackson, they can easily keep going there. I think he's just pulled back for repairs. Sturmpanzer veteran 2 shoots and at it. Lieutenant's attempted ground center victory point ends in defeat for Luvnest. as he realised his forces are too badly beaten by ClassyDave and the German army. A victory here for the fatherland, a victory for the 352nd Volksgrenadier Division with support from the 21st Panzer Division. A hectic fight at times here on Westwall, with a lot of flanking, a lot of manoeuvre there. I think over Luvnest's mistake is sort of alluded to is basically him just going for the camp for no real purpose, except at some point going for an tank and nothing else. I think a faster push with the battalion command push allowed him to push a faster tempo versus Dave, plus better utilisation of the doctrine. He only used it for the Pershings. There's no smoke, no ranges, no combined arms. I don't even think mines or anything like that, so it just really felt like a weak choice there by Luvnest, sort of leading to just a weak strategy compared to Dave. Even as he went for tier 4, though, still didn't suffer too much from him because this was part of a larger strategy using Osttruppen, pushing ahead, flanking, maneuvering. I mean, already just had more of a clear plan, plus making good use of the Panzer there to support and supplement the Osttruppen strategy, like you're actually supposed to do. So, I mean, overall, really good play there by ClassyDave. The only oddity here just being the MG34, he just refused to do anything with. But also, I think nice display here of the Osttruppen strategy by ClassyDave on Westwall, and some nice armour handling, extra assault in the virtually 3 Panther and a virtually 3 Panzer IV, which is quite impressive. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own, apart some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.